Hi there. I just wanted to put a face to the video today. I am taking you on a tour of our backyard orchard today. So enjoy the video and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye. Before I start pruning, I want to show you our backyard orchard. This is our bear's lime tree that is a well-established tree. It always drops limes when they're ready and they turn yellow. You can see they're yellow on the tree. And it's a pretty big tree. It's been here since we moved in. The next one we have is a Yosemite Gold orange tree. This one's kind of struggling, but we did some reinforcement because this is a hill. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's a hill. We reinforce the soil so that it doesn't just go down the road or down the hill. So it's got some really nice oranges. These ones are kind of small this year, but I got two, so that's good. The next one we have is a dwarf grapefruit. This has been chewed up by some kind of animal, and I'm hoping that it will come back as a tree. It'll come back with branches and stuff. There's one green one right there, but I'm not sure if that's going to come back. It's a ruby red grapefruit. Next we have a macadamia. This was newly planted. You can see the gopher protection that we had to do. It's a basket, and let's see if you can see. It's called a Kate macadamia, and it's going to be a nice sized tree. Can't wait. Macadamias. This one is supposed to be really good in our area. The next one we have is a donut peach, and I haven't yet pruned these, but I did do reinforcement of the soil last fall, and we have gopher wire basket. So this produced probably a dozen peaches last year, and hoping for more this year. The next one we have is a fig that I planted from a cutting. It was about, 6, 8, 10 inches tall, long, and looks like it's growing really nicely. There's some leaves, new leaves down below. Also in a gopher basket, and this has a berm, but I don't have rocks or bricks around it. The next one we have is a Hass avocado, and you can see that we have a berm. It's also protected from the hot sun, and it's not doing too good in here. I mean, it's growing in it's growing pretty good. It's got some new leaves. I'm trying to show so you can see. Got some new leaves right here and over here, but these leaves have spots, and I've fertilized it and we water deeply. Not sure what else to do except for wait. So it's also got a gopher basket that we've just started doing a couple years ago because the gophers have decimated a ton of trees. So now the next one that's been here since we moved in is our pomegranate tree. I did not prune this and have a mess of branches, and they're quite pokey. You can see they're really long, and they hurt when you get in there. I will try and get in there and thin it out a bit, but this is a good producer every year. So yeah, I don't know what kind of pomegranate it is. Our next one is another avocado, and it is also new. I planted it last fall, and it has a gopher basket. It's protected by the sun, from the sun, by this old sheet we had, and it has new growth right here in the tips, and the leaves look really nice. It's important to deep water avocados once a week. They have a taproot that goes down about a meter, 3 or 4 feet down into the ground, and water needs to go down deep. So I water it deeply. I'm going to be putting mulch around so that the moisture stays in, and yeah, so this one is a Fuerte avocado. The next one we have is a May Pike peach, and you can see it's flowering. Super, super exciting. The flowers are changing colors, dying off, and little peaches are starting to grow. So when this has a bunch of new growth, I will come in here and thin out the fruit. And I did not prune this, but I think I will prune some. I'm going to take out some of the inward facing branches. It won't hurt the tree very much at all. Actually, it'll put its energy into creating the fruit that it is growing. So love this. They're so pretty. This next one is a Santa Rosa plum, and it's next to a Satsuma plum. This one is really, really tall, and my goal is to bring it down to a smaller height so that I can reach the fruit. There's old wood, and then you can see the lighter color is a newer wood, and then it should be forming blossoms on the tips there pretty soon. And you can see this one is turning green. Might get some flowers on this soon, but I need to hurry up and prune it because it is probably 15 feet tall. This Satsuma plum is shorter, but the whips are really tall. Not as tall as the other one, but pretty tall. And I gotta get in here and clean it up. It is super, super congested with branches. So I'm gonna get in here today, clean it up, and I did not reinforce this one, but I will. That's my plan for this spring. Next we have our Moro Blood Orange. It also got eaten up by something, but you can see there's little leaves growing. So I'm going to make a gopher wire or a chicken wire cage and put it over so that it doesn't get eaten up more. Next one is a Meyer lemon, improved. I absolutely love Meyer lemons. So I have one already in a pot, and just going around the side right here, you can see there's some blossoms. Pretty exciting. And there is a fruit growing on it already. Looks like it's getting some sun, but that's okay. It'll be fine. So this is our almond tree. It looks like it's budding out and blossoming. How exciting. I love these. They're so pretty. And this is one of the few trees that we have planted that does not have a gopher wire basket protection on the bottom. We planted this like 5 years ago, and it's we didn't know about the baskets. So next we have a new planting. It's a mulberry. I bought this one at the local nursery, and it is doing really well. I am super excited about mulberries. They're so good. So I think this one is a Morris nigra, and I've never grown mulberry before, so it's brand new to me. Excuse me. So this one is a Snow Queen nectarine. I worked on this one so much last year. I pruned it, and it grew so many nectarines. I was able to freeze a whole bunch so that we can have them in smoothies. I have to get in here and prune again. So these are getting fuzzy little buds. It's time for me to get in here and get working on this. I reinforced it with concrete blocks last fall, summer, and fertilized it. Actually, I fertilized all of the trees. We used a horse manure on all of the trees, and I think that's gonna do really well. So this is the little apple tree. It is, it has just not gotten any bigger since we put it in, probably 9 years ago. It's still like 2.5 feet tall, and it has grown a couple of apples, but not very many. You can see it's growing little buds. So this apple is under this giant, now dying eucalyptus tree, and I think that has something to do with the growth rate. It just isn't growing. It has been stunted. So this apple is going to move into that hole up there. Okay, so now this is our second pomegranate, which I did get to pruning, and I don't know if you see a difference, notice a difference, but this one has very little branches in the middle, and I just opened it up a lot, and it is growing like crazy. The leaves are so pretty, nice crispy green. I also opened up the berm and I fertilized it, so we're doing good. That's a wonderful pomegranate. This is our Anna apple, and we put this in probably 2011. I think we did the apples all at the same time. I did reinforce the berm with some bricks that we already had, and put some of that horse manure in, but I need to prune it. So it has some apples on it. It's growing some apples, which is super exciting. The dogs really love to come in and pick their own apples. So, a lot of flowers. This is really doing nicely today, or this season. So it's about 5.5 feet tall. Pretty good. Next one we have is our orange tree that was here, well-established tree. It is some kind of navel orange, and it was here when we bought the house. Beautiful tree. And this year I pruned it. I went through and pulled out all of the dead branches, and I fertilized it. I took a couple months and cared for it. I put horse manure in here and some horse topsoil from a horse ranch, and I reinforced the berm. It's about a foot tall around, and it's doing really well. But look at the size of these oranges. These oranges are just beautiful and enormous. Check this one out. Look at my hand. It's like the size, it's bigger than a softball. They're huge. And they're almost ready. And then the good part, another thing I saw, is that there's little flowers for more. And the leaves look really good. It was really diseased. It had these gross leaves. They all looked sickly, like these ones. These are probably the old ones. Probably take those off and eaten, but it's looking good. There's our chickens. They all think I have some handouts for them, but I don't. And beyond the chickens, over there is my gardens area. So, all right, so that's our orange tree. Moving over here, we'll go to our lemon. I also pruned this one. I took off a lot of growth. I pulled off all the dead leaves off of this tree, and I fertilized it. I reinforced the berm with new concrete blocks because we didn't have any more by the time I got to this one. But you'll see this tree is just full of lemons, and they're good lemons. So I'm not going to complain about what they look like as long as they're good. Okay, so the next things I have here, this is a bay leaf tree bush. It's a bush right now. It's in a pot. Right next to it is a moringa tree, and it's growing new leaves. I can't wait. This is our bacon avocado, and it has enormous avocados, and it's so healthy looking. It's growing really well. The leaves look good. The dogs like to pick avocados off of the tree and just eat them, but I don't want them to. So here's an avocado. This is one of the first avocado first trees that we put in a gopher wire basket. And here's one of our avocados. Check that thing out. It's enormous. This tree produced maybe a dozen this year. It's a pretty young tree, maybe 3 years old. 2 years here in this spot. Likes this spot. We protected it with sheets like the other ones that we have. So it's getting pretty tall. It's bushier at the bottom. Okay, so this is our Nagami kumquat. This is a really prolific producer. I just pruned out a whole bunch of dead stuff last fall, just like all the other ones. And see, there's some dead right there. And I'll come in soon and take some of that stuff out. I didn't reinforce the berm because I ran out of time, but I will. It's going to get some horse manure or compost or something, and it's looking like it's struggling a little. Got some yellow leaves, so, but not going to complain. Okay, so this apple tree is also struggling. It's our Golden Delicious apple, and it produced apples last season, and I did reinforce the berm. It does not have a protection from the gophers, but this middle section looks like it's dying or it's dead, so I'm going to cut it down, cut it here, because this all is, it's crispy, it's wrinkly, the bark is just coming apart, but there is new growth. So you can see this is all new growth here, and I'm just gonna take care of it, see if it bounces back. I think it'll be fine. Honey mandarin, murcot, and these are so good. I've also, all of them, I pruned off all of the dead leaves, but they stand on end. It's funny to see they stand on end, but you can see all the new growth right here. So it's liking this spot. It's probably 6-7 feet tall, loaded with mandarin oranges, and they're so juicy. So over here I have a loquat tree that was here when we moved in, and it's really tall, and it produces so much in every year, and we don't do anything for this tree. We eat the fruit, but mostly the birds get it. Over here, this is a black walnut. You can see some walnuts hanging on up there. But half the tree is dead, and then this branch out, I think, is the one that's living. So most of that is dead. Unfortunately, it was a beautiful shade-giving tree. Okay, so the last fruit tree that I have, besides the little starts that I have some in my greenhouse as cuttings, is this Meyer lemon tree. It's in a pot. It's in a pot, and it needs extra care, but Meyer lemons are my absolute favorite. And I have it right by the back door. So I have easy access to lemons. Well, there's only 3 lemons left on this tree, but we'll get more. And that's why I planted the other one. But this is the orchard. Everything's planted about 10-12 feet apart. It's a hill, so you can see it's a hill now. And I am signing out. Hope you enjoyed it.